Welcome to the first trial in Case 4 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. From the best I can tell, a lady that we met named by Lotta Hart is going to be the first witness. She seemed to be kinda on our side, but then she found out there's going to be a trial and she doesn't want to give us any sort of information, so let's turn the sound up a little bit on my end and read some dialogue in Phoenix Wright after I wet my whistle here a little bit. Karma? That's right, Manfred von Karma. He's the best prosecutor there is. He hasn't lost a case in his 40-year career. Well, that doesn't bode well. He's a god of prosecution, right? A god! Not a single case? He'll do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. Sounds like someone else I know, Edgeworth. Huh. You don't understand. I mean, he'll really do anything. Manfred von Karma is a man to be feared. Man-feared von Karma. It's quite a claim from someone who forges evidence. He taught me what it really means to prosecute. What? Just picture a prosecutor as vicious as me, multiplied by a factor of 10. So he's gonna be 10 times more ferocious than you, Edgeworth? Ugh. So he was your teacher then, Edgeworth? Sort of. Now he's trying to get you found guilty? What a creep. Oh wait, maybe he's planning on losing on purpose to help you out. Not a chance. He hasn't lost once in 40 years. 40 years, I tells you. He's as ruthless as me, times 20. You keep upping the ante. That's pretty ruthless. Like I said, he's a god among prosecutors. Guess that's something like Mia was to Mia. Speaking of Mia. Maya? Huh? We could really be using Mia's help right now, don't you think? Oh. I can't. Sorry, I tried, I really did. But I couldn't reach. Excuse me. You couldn't reach. I think it's because I haven't been training. My powers are weak again. Oh man, what bad timing. I mean, she did want to stand under that nutrient-rich waterfall. I'm really sorry. I'll try my best. I hope so. What are you whispering about? Oh, nothing. Well, it's time. Let's head in. Let's head on in. Which courtroom do we get? That's the thing I'm most curious about. Number 3. It's the best one. There he is. There's the prosecuting attorney. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Von Karma, is the prosecution ready? Fool. You seriously think I would stand here? Were I not completely prepared? Whatever, Alucard. Right, my apologies. You even got the judge scared. Very well, your opening statement, please. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. That should be fine. Prosecution may call its first witness. What's with this guy? Is he royalty or something? How am I supposed to fight against this? I call the detective in charge of this case, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Okay, Gumshoe's first. Let's see how this goes. This should be easy. Good old Gumshoe. Describe the incident, now. Yes, sir. Gumshoe looks nervous. Please take a look at the map. The murder happened late Christmas Eve around midnight. There was one boat in the very middle of the lake. Since when was there 5 boats? There were 2 men on the boat. Now there happened to be a woman camping here in the edge of the lake. At 12:10 she heard 2 pistol shots. Then the boat started to move. It went towards the boat rental shop. Now we're back to 4 again. How's that even happen? Overhead map added to court record. Testify to the court about the arrest. Now. Wait, Von Karma. Yes. Actually, I'm the one that's supposed to be handling these proceedings. Wrong. There's only one thing you need to do here. You'll slam down your gavel and say the word guilty. That's your role. Yes, of course, you're quite right. No, he's not. He might be. A man called into the station around 30 minutes after midnight. We headed to the scene of the crime as fast as we could. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. Now, I didn't suspect him of anything. But the next morning, a body was found in the lake. So we had to arrest Edgeworth. Or else. I see, very well. Begin your cross-examination, attorney. Now. Excuse my yawning. Goodness me. Hold it. You received a call from a man? Yep. But you said there was a woman camping there. She is the one who heard 2 gunshots, right?
Objection.
That woman and the man who called in the report are obviously 2 different people. Different people? There were 2 witnesses. Their testimonies were quite similar, however, today I summoned the woman who was camping. Lot of heart. What happened next, detective? How long was it between receiving the report and your arrival at the lake? It was about 3 minutes. Did somebody say 3 minutes? Phew. That's pretty fast. Our motto for the month is, get there quick.
Objection.
Detective, you will refrain from casually revealing department's secrets. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I look forward to your next year's salary review. Poor Gumshoe. So much to look forward to these days. This is no time for dejected daydreaming. Continue. Yes, sir. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. What was Mr. Edgeworth like when you saw him then? Well, from what I saw, he looked pretty relaxed. Not like a murderer at all, really.
Objection.
Detective, the court requires the facts, not your opinion. How many years have you been on the force? Facts only, detective. Hard, cold, objective facts. Yes, sir. Manny's got his share of objections. I didn't suspect of anything at all. Why didn't you think he was suspicious? You should know. We have a deep, trusting relationship with the prosecutors, and I have been short of breath. Look at me breathe.
Objection.
Detective, the court isn't interested in your musings. Deep, trusting, poppycock. I thought he said thrusting. I've never heard so many flippant comments from an active detective on the farce. I mean the force. Gumshoe doesn't look so good. Continue, now. But the next morning a body was found in the lake. Whose body? A single bullet was recovered from the body. He was shot through the heart, fatally. Judge, here's the bullet. It didn't strike bone, so its shape is well preserved. Very well. The court accepts this bullet into evidence. So we had to arrest Mr. Edgeworth. There's not a lot I can work with here, I don't feel. Well, we found the murder weapon in the boat. Murder weapon. A pistol. Detective Gumshoe, that is a vital piece of information. Please revise your testimony. Great, sorry, Your Honor. Murder weapon we found in the boat was decisive evidence. What about the pistol made it decisive evidence? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Ack, he has the same evil laugh as Edgeworth. There were fingerprints on the pistol found in the boat. They were clear prints from Mr. Edgeworth's right hand. What? Well, order, order. So Mr. Edgeworth's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon? Yes, Your Honor. Judge, this is the weapon in question. Accepted into evidence. I think I know where this is going. Members of the court, we now have the pistol used in the murder and the bullet found in the body. Detective. Yes, sir. Was the bullet found in the body fired from this pistol? Yes. The ballistic markings on the bullet match the pistol. Hey, Nick. What does he mean, ballistic markings? Shocking. To imagine someone here does not know something as basic as ballistic markings. Nick, he's glaring at me. Very well, I'll explain. Actually, Judge, you do it. Huh? Me? Ballistic markings are like the fingerprints of a gun. The barrel leaves distinct marks on each bullet it fires. You can examine these ballistic fingerprints to see which gun fired the shot. It's quite accurate. Indeed. This leads to one inevitable conclusion. The bullet found in the victim's heart was without a doubt fired from this pistol. This pistol, which, as you may recall, was covered with the defendant's own fingerprints. We gotta get a picture of that photo, gotta get a look at it. This is bad. This makes it look like Edgeworth did it. Well, Judge? Say it's almost decisive, yes. Honestly, I could declare a verdict at this point. However... You wish to hear the witness speak, no doubt. Very well. I'm somewhat fatigued, so I'll take a brief break. I will call my witness after the recess, which will last 10 minutes. Judge? Yes? What are you doing? A 10-minute recess. Now. But wait, Just bang your flimsy gavel and get on with it, man. Yes. This court will take a 10-minute recess. Who's running this court anyway? Think we know who's wearing pants in this courtroom. Edgeworth, what's going on here? Your fingerprints were on the murder weapon. I mean, you can't tell that it's his right arm. Now, there's supposed to be another photograph. If they get closer to it, we might be able to see a left-handed shot, but right now we can't. That foggy photo makes one thing clear. The only one who could have shot that man was the person in the photo. True. Was that you in the boat? Yes, it was me. What? But you must believe me, I didn't shoot him. Then who did? I don't know. You don't know? Weren't you right there? I heard a gunshot from very close by. Then the other man fell from the boat. I can't say why, but... I thought at the time that he had shot himself. You mean it was a suicide? It's the only explanation I can come up with. How am I gonna convince anyone of that? Say, Maya. What? Any progress with Mia? Oh, sorry, it's no good. Ugh. I know. I'm no good for anything, am I, Nick? If I can't call my sister, I may as well not be here, right? Yeah, you're useless. No, I need you here. I can see you're always trying to help out. Even if you don't actually help, it's the thought that counts, right? It's okay, Nick, you don't have to make me feel better. I don't know anything about trials or defense. What's more, I'm a spirit medium who can't even contact spirits. Aw, everyone has their off days. I mean, I've just been getting lucky lately, but you never know when my luck's gonna run out. Really? Whoa, right. Don't jinx this case any more than it already has been. It's bad for my heart. Sorry. Whoops. Court is back in session. Von Karma, call your witness. Yes. Will Mrs. Lotta Hart take the stand? There she is. Lotta Hart. You're a research student at a university? That I am. Good. Begin by telling us what you saw the night of the incident. And don't add anything trivial or subjective. Understand? Y'all need to learn some manners. Understand? Yeah, I understand. I understand. Very well. Your testimony, please. So I was taking pictures of meteors having a shower. It was Christmas Eve, just after midnight, I reckon. I was in my car. I heard this bang come up from the lake. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. There's none other... Then there was another bang. I can already tell by this angle that it's the left hand. So, like, I don't know. There wasn't an area thing on the lake but that boat. But I mean, I don't have that proof. They just showed me it is all. That's all. Enough. Huh? Judge? She happened to take a photo of the incident. This is that photo, accepted as evidence. Well, this is a surprise. This looks like the very moment of the murder. Order. I will remove people from this courtroom if I do not have order immediately. As the witness testified, she looked at the lake when she heard the shot. There were no other boats on that lake, so the man in the boat with the victim must have been the one who shot him. Is the defendant Miles Edgeworth? Order. Well, Judge, the evidence is decisive. I have very little doubt about this case. Very well, this court finds the defendant. Wait, Your Honor. I haven't cross-examined the witness yet. The cross-examination. We have photographic proof. What question can there possibly be? This photo's worth 1,000 words, and they all read guilty. You lose. Or you claim to have found a contradiction in her testimony. Very well, if you have to, you may cross-examine the witness. You'll only flounder and ask meaningless questions. You will fail to find anything. And then I'll have you held in contempt of court. Nick? Contempt? Contempt of court, you know? I guess I understand. What are you gonna do? Do you really think there was a contradiction with the facts in her testimony? Probably. I think I noticed one little thing. Let's take him on. Yeah, got a bad feeling about this. I understand. I'll cross-examine the witness. I pray for your sake this isn't a waste of time. I don't think it's a one and done, really. Okay. I'm still gonna save it. Just in case. Just after midnight, you say. In other words, it was no longer Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day. Well, yes. I know you want to find contradictions, but really? Hope your next contradiction is a little more relevant to the trial. Witness, continue your testimony. Let's look at all of the evidence. Well, there's this picture, but then... Well, I don't know, none of this is really... contradictory. I mean, other than... I can't tell what hand's what. You were in your car. Hold it. Why are you camping there anyway? I'm a research student at my university. I was taking pictures to use in my research. What research? This all sounds suspicious. Miss Hart, could you be more specific about research? What does the witness's motive in camping by the lake have to do with this case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained. Wait, now I'm the one who says that. Well then say it already. Objection sustained. Thanks for nothing, Your Honor. So you weren't looking at the lake at the time? Nope. I looked after I heard that noise. She said that already. I asked you to find contradictions, not leisurely chat with the witness. You clearly see the two men. Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you? No. Wait a second. I wasn't asking about the photo. I was asking if you saw the two men. Yeah, well, of course. Witnesses testified that she saw him. There's also a photo. You best look elsewhere for your precious contradiction. He jumped in quick. He's hiding something. And there is another bang. Yeah, what's the deal with the other bang? Were you watching the very moment the shot rang out? Well, yeah, sure. You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless. Contradictions, Mr. Wright. Not meaningless babble. Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end? Wasn't nary a thing on the lake but that boat. Are you sure about that? Yeah, sure as a country gal can be. Sounds pretty sure. How come you're so sure? Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake. Scanned the whole lake? It almost sounds like she was more interested in the lake than the boat. Miss Hart, you... Mr. Wright, the witness has answered the questions in full. No need for further questions. Objection sustained. That's what I'm... Sustained. Yes, of course. Oh, great. Enough. I think we've heard all we need to hear, Mr. Wright. Seems you're unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting. But, Your Honor, you keep your promise. Uh-oh. If that happens, you'll have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood? Uh-huh. Nick. Lada's testimony is fishy, Nick. Real fishy. I know what you mean. But if I can't say anything, what should I do? I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision. Then pass your judgment. Very well. Who said hold it? Who was that? It was me. Maya. Something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities? No, I do not. Lada Hart, your testimony stinks. It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth. It is a matter of life or death. Lada? Did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him fire that pistol? You will stand down. The court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst. Answer me, Lada. What's the big idea treating me like some kind of criminal? I saw him, I swear it. I saw Edgeworth. Enough. Judge, declare the defense in contempt of court. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, but you were warned. Guard, escort Mr. Wright out of the courtroom. He's in contempt of court and must leave. No. What, did I game over somehow? Yeah. I was the one who made the outburst, Your Honor. Nick is innocent. Ha, what's the difference? All that remains is the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Wrong. What? Did you hear what Miss Hart just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not in the testimony. That changes her testimony, and I have a right to cross-examine her again. Order, 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 order! You're in contempt of court. It's too late for wild claims. Judge, sustain my objection. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Karma, but I cannot. What? Miss Lada Hart had made a new testimony. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again. But he's in contempt of court. No, I am. If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me. Very well. Maya Fey, you will leave the courtroom immediately. Nick, I did what I could. You have to do the rest. Good luck. Maya. Well, it helped out. Heh, I care not for this melodrama. Listen well, Mr. Wright. I do not tolerate badgering of my witnesses. I'm running out of time. I better find a contradiction in here or else. Mr. Wright, begin your cross-examination. That's it. I'm gonna save it again. I don't know if I just have to present that photo. What about the other man? You cannot expect to be allowed to blithely ignore your promise, Mr. Wright. I believe you claim there's a contradiction in the witness's testimony. Well, find it, if you can. Okay, well... You're telling me that this... Got you. Got you, Miss Hart, finally. What? You got what? Look at this photograph. The photo I took? The very same. There's something I want you to see in this photo. It's quite clearly visible. The fog, Miss Hart. So, this picture was taken with professional, high-quality film, correct? Yet even it could not capture the faces of the men in the boat. Yet you claim you saw Mr. Edgeworth. How? Aw. Mr. Wright has a point. That's why I told her not to say that in her testimony, please. Yet now she had said it, Von Karma. How could you possibly see Mr. Edgeworth? Explain yourself. Could you see the defendant that night? Of course. I said I could, and I meant I could. And please testify to the circumstances of your sighting. I did it. I finally found a hole in Von Karma's carefully vague testimony. You're right. It was a cold night, and the fog was thick as grits. So once I was finished setting up my camera, I got back in the car. Still, I brought my binoculars with me. When I heard that noise out on the lake, I looked with my binoculars. See, no problem. You use binoculars? Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. One better be good. Can I badger the witness? So, how could you see Mr. Edgeworth? Now just hold your horses for a second. You hasty Yankee types never find a gal from where I'm from. Defense attorneys have trouble with that as it is. Nobody loves me. Your camera. Yeah, it's got an automatic. The issue we are concerned with here is Mrs. Hart seeing Mr. Edgeworth. The camera has nothing to do with this at all. He's not letting her answer any of my questions. Binoculars. Yeah, binoculars. Yesterday you mentioned that you're out looking for shooting stars, correct? Well, yeah. Wouldn't you need a telescope, not binoculars for that? Got doubts about your camera, too. Is that really to take pictures of meteor showers? Camera is irrelevant to this case. You can't say that for certain. Mr. Wright, is the camera really relevant to this case? If you believe it is, you may continue with this line of questioning. But know this, if you find nothing with this, there will be consequences. I'm not going to press further about the camera at the moment. Okay, Your Honor. I withdraw my question. I have to remember who I'm dealing with. I bet Von Karma wants to trap me so he can put me in contempt. I think I'll hang back for now and see what happens. If there was a heavy fog, how would binoculars change that at all? What do you mean? Even binoculars can't see through fog. But you say you clearly saw him. I did, yeah. Enough. There's no room for doubt in her testimony. She sounded pretty doubtful to me. But I have to find a clear contradiction first. I don't care how many Von Karmic objections I get. I'm going to find a hole in this testimony if it's the last thing I do. Maybe I do have to press the camera then. Press further. Camera is of utmost importance, Your Honor. It's perhaps the key to this entire case. Therefore, I'll continue my line of questioning. Maybe I went a little overboard there. Very well. Miss Hart, you will testify to the court about the camera. Yeah, I hear you. The camera was set up to take pictures of a meteor shower. I doubt that, because it's Yeah, set up pictures when loud noises are taken. You were photographing shooting stars? That's a lie. Says who? I saw the camera you set up yesterday. It was pointed directly at the lake. You have to point a camera upwards to take photos of the stars, Miss Hart. I mean, that wasn't what I was getting at, but yes. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? The witness was not at all at the lake to photograph stars, Your Honor. Well then, what exactly was she photographing? Oh, probably Gordy. Your Honor, take a look at this. What was Miss Hart trying to photograph on the lake? Gordy. Miss Hart, this is what you were trying to photograph. What's this, a newspaper article? Gordy? Ah, the sighting at Gord Lake. Well, Miss Hart? I never heard of no lake monster. You got proof or something? Let's see you prove that I was down at the lake trying to photograph this Gordy. I don't think I have proof of that. I'll say I have proof, though. The proof, Miss Hart, is your own camera. Your camera is set to take photos in response to loud noises, correct? Thus this photograph here taken when a gun fired on the lake. And here, this article about Gordy. According to this article, Gordy made a loud noise when it emerged. Well, you were trying to photograph Gordy, weren't you? That's why you had set your camera to respond to loud noises. Order? I see. I too thought it was a little strange. Yeah, sure. Well, Miss Hart, you were camping there to try and take a photo of Gordy, weren't you? Yeah. Not bad. Are all you lawyers that smart? So smart, boy. I was down there trying to photograph Gordy. You got me. So what? Huh? That don't change what I saw, does it? Exactly. Would you just use several precious minutes of our time to prove? It's nothing more than that the witness is an idiot who thinks monsters exist. Hey. But as she so succinctly said, so what? It changes nothing. You're hiding the whole thing about Gordy for some reason, I know it, but what could it have been? Whatever it is, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Miss Hart, why did you hide the fact you were searching for Gordy from the court? Please revise your testimony. Right, fine, I'll testify. It won't change nothing, though. Something'll change, it has to. I'm gonna spot it. Actually, I'm not a research student at a university. I'm an investigative photographer. Imagine what a scoop it'd be if I got a picture of that monster. That's why I was camping out by the lake, but that's all I was hiding. When I heard the bang, I looked right straight at the lake. There wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched that boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands. Then I heard another gunshot. I was looking right at the boat the whole time, crossed my heart and hoped to fry. I feel like the whole point of there only being one bullet is kind of important. Witness testimony is unchanged from before. Whether she's a research student or not has no bearing on this case. No need to waste more of our time with another pointless cross-examination. I claim the defense's right to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well. You may begin the cross-examination. You seem sure of yourself. You must have something in mind. That would be a first. Very funny. You understand this is your last chance at a cross-examination, Mr. Wright. There's no problem in the testimony this time. We will let the witness leave. I will announce my verdict at that time, Mr. Wright. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if that means I can't make a mistake here. I'm sure that's a thing in Phoenix Wright, but I'm just not sure if it is right now. So I will save it. Exactly what sort of sound was it? I never heard one before, but it sounded like a gunshot. It's a lot sharper a sound than I would have expected. Wasn't much else to look at, so I just watched the boat the whole time. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands and I heard another gunshot. I think it's just like... Oh, it was fired three times. Well... We'll badger the witness a little bit, then. Since it didn't seem to punish me to do it. Highfalutin enough to be called a manner of anything. An investigative photographer. Yep. You get your photo and sell it to the press. It's that kind of business. Hey, I was taking pictures of my sister's graduation last year, and guess what? There's a UFO just hanging in the sky. A UFO? You know, an unidentified flying object. A UFO. That's when I had a sort of revelation. I knew I should become an investigative photographer. Is Gordy really all that newsworthy? Heck yeah, they even had him up on the TV. I'm not sure that appearing on the local news Rumor of the Month segment qualifies. Last month's segment was Bigfoot sighted on Acorn Hill, I believe. They also had a picture of him in the newspaper for real. Well, it was fired 3 times, so... I don't know. Is that why you put the automatic sensor on your camera? Yep, borrowed it from a university professor. It analyzes every sound it picks up, and when it gets a bang, it snaps a shot. Yep. So how many pictures has it taken so far? The only time the camera triggered was that night. I think it's time you told us why you felt you had to hide your true purpose at the lake. If word got out what I was up to, the lake would be swarming with competitors. Yeah, second-rate shutterbugs trying to steal my scoop. Ah, is that the only reason you were hiding the truth? Well, actually. Mr. Wright, I'll not have you asking witnesses questions with no relevance to this case. Whatever you say, Von Karma, I know you told her to keep quiet. We read that one. There wasn't much else to look at. Yep. I don't know. She heard a bang and she thought Gordy was out there. Kinda doubt she'd waste any time looking at a boat. What? What'd I do now? What are you giving me that look for? Definitely suspicious. Maybe it's time for some evidence. Witness, continue. Hold your hush puppies, Pops. I'm getting there. Was there nothing on the lake but the boat at that time? Huh? So you're thinking maybe he was shot from some other place? I don't think so, nope. The lake was as smooth as glass, and nobody was on the shore either. Better find some sort of contradiction in this testimony. Won't be able to beat Von Karma any other way, there has to be something. I feel like the fact that this took 3 shots is relevant. But apparently not. Then I saw a flash near one of the men's hands and I heard another gunshot. So shouldn't you have another picture? I'm gonna game over. Because there was 3 gunshots, she only has 1 photo. Alright, well I'll just... Well, how far back am I? I'll see if I have to make a cut. Guilty. So that's a game over. Where did I save it? Okay, so we're right back here already. But, like, I might cut out a whole bunch of me humming and hawing, because I don't even know where to look right now. Do I do this? Miss Hart, were you really looking at that boat? What's with you? Of course I was looking at it. It's the only thing out there. Any normal person be looking at it. I agree, any normal person would. But you are far from normal. What, you want to step over here and say that? You were camping at the lake to take a picture of Gordy. Think about it. What would you do if you heard a loud noise? You'd be scanning the lake for any sight of Gordy, that's what. You wouldn't give that boat a second thought. Continue, Mr. Wright. You testified that you were watching the boat through binoculars. However, you wouldn't need binoculars to watch that boat. You needed them to search for Gordy, and that's what you were doing. Well? Huh. Well, now that y'all mention it, I did sort of take my binoculars and kind of scan the lake a bit. I mean, Gordy might be out there and all. Are you saying you were not watching the boat, then? Sorry, y'all. I wasn't fibbing, really. I just, you know, thought I could be a witness to a murder and all. Kinda got excited. I sure was watching that boat till now. This is totally uncalled for. But hey, you got the photograph, you got proof. You still can't see who's shooting who in this. Right. That's why I took this photo and... Witness, that's enough. You had a long day, shut your pie hole. Shut my what? What was she going to say? She took the photo and what? Wait a second. She even had a photograph to prove it, but you really can't tell who the photo was from shooting. That's why she said she's gonna enlarge the photo, said it'll drop quality a mite, but should let us see who's who. She enlarged that photo. Why wouldn't Von Karma let her show it? I've got a hunch, I bet that enlarged photo shows something bad for Von Karma. This is my chance. If I'm wrong, though, it'll mean prison for Edgeworth. Or worse. What should I do? Make her show the enlargement. Miss Hart, look at this photograph. You enlarged this photograph, did you not? Yeah, I did. Why has that enlargement not been presented to the court? Because it does not exist. What are y'all talking about? You were the one who told me not to show it in court in the first place, you old fool. What's the meaning of this, Von Karma? Miss Hart. Show the photo to the court. Show us the enlargement. The prosecution objects to the submission of this evidence. Objection denied. The witness will show the enlargement to the court. Here it is. You still can't tell who it is. You can tell it's in the left hand, though. You still cannot see who's firing in this. Could be the defendant, or maybe it's not. Regardless, I'll accept this as evidence. Happy now, Mr. Wright? There has to be something. Yeah, it's the wrong hand. You asked for the enlargement, you got the enlargement. And little good has it done any of us. That's why I requested she not show it. Suppose this means the cross-examination is over, obviously. Then I would like to close the cross-examination of Miss Lottahart, and none too soon. That was a flagrant waste of my time. Mr. Von Karma, do you have anything to add? I stated everything I needed to when this trial began. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. Then I believe it's time for me to declare my verdict. It's not supposed to go like this. There has to be a clue in this photo somewhere. This is bad, real bad. What should I do? Show other evidence. Wait. Your Honor, this evidence. Believe we have spent enough time talking about evidence. Indeed. We've heard opinions on every piece of evidence with this enlargement. I see no point in retracing our steps. Well, object to the enlargement in that it proves Edgeworth is innocent. There's something decidedly strange with this enlargement. What might that be? The gun. Or the fingerprints. You'll show the court what you mean. What about this photo is strange? Show the judge what's strange about this photo. Well, the hand. Take that! Oh. Yeah, okay. Look at the hand holding the pistol, Your Honor. The hand. Hand directly contradicts another piece of evidence. The man's left hand does what? Let me show you. I'll show you the evidence that left hand contradicts. The evidence is clear. The man in the photograph is holding that pistol in his left hand. However, the prints on the murder weapon for Edgeworth's right hand. Ergo, the man shooting the pistol in this photograph is not Mr. Edgeworth. Take that. Now that everyone in the courtroom is quieted down, I would like to reconvene this court of law. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You have given us definitive proof today. We now know that it was not Mr. Edgeworth who fired that pistol that night. However, it leaves us with a rather large problem. Mr. Edgeworth didn't do it. Then who did? Precisely. As we have seen, there were no other people on the lake that night. But who wait, what? Who but the defendant could have shot the victim? The victim himself. There's only one explanation remaining. The man who shot the victim was none other than the victim himself. So you're saying that the victim committed suicide? Yes, Your Honor. I can think of no other explanation. Indeed, that does seem to be the only remaining option. I'm so very sorry, Mr. Wright, but suicide is out of the question. An examination of the victim's wound reveals the distance at which he was shot. The distance? The victim was clearly shot from further than a meter away. A meter? That's 3 feet. There's no way it could have been suicide. Von Karma, are you sure of the accuracy of your data? Of course, I had already considered the possibility of suicide, you see. I see. Very well, allow me to state my opinion. Considering the situation, the shooter had to be the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth. However, the prints on the gun reveal the shooter was not Edgeworth. This is a conundrum. Therefore, I would like to suspend proceedings for this trial for the day. The court orders the defense and the prosecution to further investigate this matter. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. That is all. Court is adjourned. Well, we got through that day of trial. Oh, that was a close one. Hey, don't you have anything to say? No, I've yet to be declared innocent, right? Well, yeah, but what happened out there on that lake anyway? If he didn't commit suicide, then who? The shooter is about a meter away, too. What? Don't give me that look. I did not kill him. I did not. I was just kidding around. Look, I'm gonna go check on Maya. Right. What? Tell her something for me. What? Tell her to watch what she says in court. That's all. Would it kill you to just state how you really feel with a thanks, Edgeworth? It might. I requisitioned a transcript of Lada's entire testimony. Thought it might give me some ammunition for the trial tomorrow. Of course she didn't see the shooter. So the only part of her testimony that stood was the bang she heard. But 3 bullets were shot from that gun. What a conundrum indeed. But yeah, let's use this opportunity to save our progress up to this point. So there we go, we got through day 1 of the trial. So that's going to be it for this episode. So next time, we're going to look for even more evidence before the next day of the trial. So thank you very much for joining for this edition of Phoenix Wright, and I will join you for the next episode. So don't forget the lard and all of that stuff.